Hi everyone. Okay, it's a weekend, it's a Saturday. I am out here. I came out for a walk. Now I'm going back. Okay, Saturday afternoon. So I've been out and now I'm getting back into the house. It's almost around 1 p.m. Okay. Now I just want to talk about truth. As you know, Petition, us women, we love to dress up. We love to look good. I mean, also yesterday, remember, we're celebrating Women's Day, right? And there's so many issues to do with women and clothing and everything. But it's very, very unfortunate to note that Truworths is closing all its branches in Zimbabwe. And they're only going to be leaving about two branches in Harare, but the rest of Zimbabwe, they're closing all their branches. They said the business is very, very poor. There's no business there. And the reason is that people can no longer afford to go into Truworths and buy clothes. How sad can that be? How sad can that be? Because people can no longer afford to buy clothes, you know, and then Truworths is closing. Oh my God. That is very, very, I don't know how to describe it, okay? Because they're saying, well, because the economy is very, very bad, people, they don't have money, they're even hardly surviving, they can't even afford food. So they have to close the branches, and also because they are now second-hand clothing markets, mazitye. Vanhu vakurarama nemazitye. So people are buying second-hand clothing, and so they cannot go into Truworths and be buying clothes as they used to do. Remember, there was a time, I can recall a time where we used to buy clothes in Truworths. You just go, sometimes make your deposit, or sometimes you get what they call them, the monthly installments, with your monthly installments, or with your account, where you just take your clothing and you just be paying. It was so convenient, it was so good, it was so beautiful. But gone are the days, okay? Gone are the days of shopping like that. And now people are just resorting to second-hand clothing, mazitye, because those are the things that they can afford. The labels. If you want to wear your goods, you just go find yourself at Mbare Musika there. You go and look for your second-hand Gucci, and then you wear. It's very, very sad, really. It's very sad. So as we were celebrating the Women's Day, and also it being the Women's Month, you know, there are so many issues that you can look at. Clothing is very, very important for women. I'm just particularizing it to women because I'm talking about the Women's Month. So clothing are very, very important for women. Now, if women cannot afford a basic commodity, a basic thing like clothing, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. It's very, very hard. Okay. It's very hard for women. Imagine they have to dress up their children, they have to dress up themselves, they have to dress up their families, and things are hard. They can't do it, nothing, absolutely nothing. And now, because of the drought that is here, people have no money. In some economies, drought does not only affect one place, it is affecting many places all around Sadak. But if an economy is functioning better, people will have money in their pockets. So they can easily buy food alternatives. If there is no maize meal, they can get something else, even if there is a drought. But if there is a drought with no money, with a poor economy, with things not working properly, then it's a different thing altogether. It's a different thing altogether. This is the reason why you're saying shops closing. Now it means if they're closing all their branches around Zimbabwe, what does it tell you? It means there's a mother out there, there's a woman out there, there's a girl out there who's going to be left without a job. And what do they do next? Next, they start maybe selling their bodies, to survive, because now they're in the streets there, they've got nothing, there is no money, there is no job. It doesn't matter even if they're receiving little money, but if they have something, that they can look forward to every month. Now that the Truworths is closing, which means a lot of people are losing their jobs. Fathers are losing their jobs, the boys are losing their jobs. And then what do? They get back into the streets, and if they start stealing, we cannot blame them. If they start prostituting, we cannot blame them, because now they have nothing. They have nothing to look forward to. There is no job, and there are no jobs in Zimbabwe. You see how bad it is. So everything is always connected. It's always connected. So when I'm looking at some of these things, like when we're celebrating the Women's Month or Women's Day. There are so many issues that are so devastating and disheartening to talk about, or to even think about. There are so many of them, and Money and hunger is one of those things. And, clothing are basic things. These are basic commodities that we all should be able to afford. We don't have to force it. We don't have to be like, it's not a luxury. It's not a luxury. There's no way you can walk around naked. So it's not a luxury, or it's not something that you can say it's a luxury to have clothes. No, it's a basic commodity. It's a basic thing, and for everybody to have clothing on their body. Of course, it might not necessarily be quality clothing. I mean, not quality per se, maybe branded clothing, but basic clothing are a basic thing. Okay, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just was thinking about it. Like, it's really crazy how things have gone from bad to baddest to west to westest. Okay, it's really crazy how things have gone so bad. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. That's the situation we find ourselves in. So all we can do is to try to survive, try to do whatever we can do to make things work. That's it. That's the only thing that we can do. Try to make things work anyhow we can do it. But I feel so bad to see a shop like Truworths has to close its doors, to close all its branches. It's like not moving forward. It's like we're going backwards and backwards and backwards. You know, it's like we're moving backwards all the time. But again, I what can we do? What can we do about it? That's the situation we find ourselves in. So for women, women face all these things. Women go through all these things. Women have to deal with all those things. You understand? I mean, under normal circumstances in a functioning community society, we should be able to buy new clothes for our children. We should be able to wear decent clothing. But now imagine if a community if people have to resort to buying second-hand clothing. If a company has to close because they are second-hand clothing, people are buying second-hand clothing. Surely there's something wrong with that. There is definitely something wrong with that. It cannot be normal. It cannot be normal. There is everything wrong with that. Okay, I'll just say it like that. There is everything wrong with that kind of situation. Okay. So anyway, guys, I hope you're all doing very well. Like I said, it's a Saturday. I'm out I am out here. I went out. Now I'm back at the house. So I'm just, some fresh air. If I get back into the house, it means I'm going to sleep now because it's a Saturday. I have nothing to do. I'm just going to end up sleeping, or doing some one or two things. So I just want to be outside for a minute or so, and then I'm going to go into the house and do some other stuff there. You know how it is. You know how it is. As a woman, I have to make sure that I do what I have to do for things to work as well. Hard as it may be, but I have to do it. I have to make sure I do it. Okay. I'm even thinking like maybe I can go into the supermarket and buy something. I don't have some vegetables, so I'm thinking. So this is my supermarket. It's actually a very very big shopping center here. It's a shopping center, and this is my apartment. I just entered from here. This is my door. So I'm just standing by the door. Yeah, I walked for a long time. So I'm just standing here a little bit, okay? Making sure that I talk to you guys, okay? To deal with issues to do with women, Zimbabwean women in particular. I always love to narrow my talking, to be relevant to my people. Zimbabwean women, they've suffered a lot. They are suffering a lot. They are very much suffering, Zimbabwean women. They have to deal with a lot of situations. They have to deal with a lot of uh, you know so many things that are happening to them. When you have to take care of your children, when you see that you find your children with no food, you find your children with nothing. You have to deal with so much and so much. Zimbabwean women are going through a lot relationship wise. There are a lot of broken relationships, broken marriages, and they're left with children. They have to deal with so much in an economy that is so hard. Food, they have to make sure that they provide food for their kids, and it's so hard again to get that food. So women end up doing all sorts of things in order to make ends meet. I know that sometimes we bash women that, hey, why are you doing this, why are you doing that, but you wouldn't understand why they are doing it until you're in a similar situation, until you find yourself in that similar situation. You know, we have seen women who sell their bodies for money. I don't think under normal circumstances there's a woman who will just wake up say, I'm gonna sell my body, just for pleasure. No, it's for survival. Most of these women, they're doing it for basic needs like food. How much do they get paid? Especially those ones in this streets or those corners in Zimbabwe. They don't get nothing. But all they're striving for is just to get that little cent so that they can take care of their families. So there is a lot going on for women in Zimbabwe. So much that if you begin to talk about it, it's really sad. Very, very sad. You know. And when I started my video, I was just talking about, Truworths closing its doors, okay? And, because of secondhand clothing, this is how I started my video. But of course, we have to, it touches on many other aspects that unemployment, some people have to lose their jobs, because Truworths is closing. So it's so sad. But anyway, it is what it is. My name is Ziki, and let me do what I have to do, and I'll be talking to you again later on. Until then, take care.